solar system began as a large cloud of gas and dust, called a nebula. Over time, this nebula started to collapse under its own gravity. As it collapsed, it began to spin and flatten into a rotating disk. At the center of this disk, most of the material gathered and formed the sun through a process called nuclear fusion, where hydrogen atoms fused to create helium, releasing a lot of energy. Meanwhile, the remaining material in the disk started to clump together. Small particles stuck to each other, forming larger pieces called planetesimals. These planetesimals continued to collide and merge, growing bigger and bigger, eventually becoming protoplanets. In the inner part of the disk, closer to the sun, it was too hot for gases to stay, so the planets formed there, like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, became rocky. Further away from the sun, where it was cooler, gases and ices could condense, forming the larger gas and ice giants like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. As the sun became fully formed, it emitted strong solar winds that blew away the leftover gas and dust, leaving behind the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. This process created the stable solar system we see today. Inner planets, rocky planets. These are the planets closest to the sun. Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet and is closest to the sun. It has almost no atmosphere, so its surface temperature changes dramatically. The planet is covered in craters, similar to the moon. Venus. Venus is similar in size to Earth, but has a thick atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide. This causes a strong greenhouse effect, making the surface very hot. Venus rotates in the opposite direction of most planets. Earth is the only planet known to support life. It has a diverse atmosphere, liquid water, and a protective magnetic field. Life thrives here because of its stable climate and right conditions. Mars. Mars is often called the red planet because its surface is covered with iron oxide, rust. It has the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons. Mars also shows evidence of once having liquid water and may still have frozen water. Outer planets, gas and ice giants. These planets are farther from the sun and much larger. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is famous for its Great Red Spot, a massive storm that has lasted for centuries. Jupiter has over 79 moons, including large ones like Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Saturn. Saturn is second largest and is best known for its spectacular rings made of ice and rock. It has more than 80 moons, with Titan being the largest and known for its thick atmosphere. Uranus. Uranus has a blue-green color because of methane in its atmosphere. It rotates on its side with its axis almost horizontal to its orbit. Uranus has faint rings and at least 27 moons. Neptune. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun. It has a deep blue color and is known for having strong winds. Neptune has at least 14 moons, with Triton being the largest, and it orbits Neptune in the opposite direction. A long time ago from a big cloud of gas and dust. This cloud was part of a larger disk that surrounded the young sun. Over time, small particles in the cloud started to stick together. They clumped into larger and larger pieces, eventually forming small rocky bodies called planetesimals. These planetesimals kept colliding and merging, slowly growing into a larger body. This process is called accretion. As Earth grew bigger, it also became hotter. This heat came from the energy of the collisions, the decay of radioactive materials, and the pressure from its own gravity. When Earth got hot enough, it started to melt. The heavy materials like iron and nickel sank to the center to form the core. The lighter materials floated to the top, forming the crust. This separation of layers is called differentiation. At one point, a large object about the size of Mars collided with the early Earth. The impact threw a lot of debris into space. Over time, this debris came together and formed the moon. As Earth began to cool down, a solid crust formed on the surface. Volcanic eruptions were common, and they released gases into the atmosphere. These gases, along with water vapor, helped create Earth's early atmosphere. Eventually, the water vapor in the atmosphere condensed as the planet cooled, leading to the formation of oceans. This water may have also come from icy comets and asteroids that hit Earth. Over time, tiny organisms that could perform photosynthesis started to release oxygen into the atmosphere. This gradually transformed Earth's atmosphere oxygen-rich one we have today, making it suitable for life.
If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.